It's very honourable for me to be here at the International Hemp Environmental Forum. Thank you for allowing me to begin the presentations in English. I'd like to start by sharing that hemp has a very long and interesting history. From the ancient Egyptians to many cultures, there has been a history of hemp for many thousands of years. But it seems that Japan actually has the longest history of cannabis, sativa, hemp from anywhere. This is my partner Makoto Matsamura-san talking about the history of hemp in Europe of over 10,000 years. And of course, the baby here is the future of hemp and the generations that we work for to bring back this plant to the people. In fact, hemp has been a very important commodity for many thousands of years, and it has only been in the short time since the war where hemp has been the most persecuted commodity. But I'm very happy to say that in the last few years, hemp is being recognized to be again one of the most important commodities on this planet. It was because of campaigns by the United States of America calling cannabis reefer madness and saying that it does lots of bad to people that cannabis was actually stopped. In fact, the United States is responsible for banning cannabis in 150 countries. But for me personally, it was the pollution that has been growing on this planet that inspires me to become involved with industrial hemp. Seeing plastic bottles and waste like this throughout Asia inspired me to make a change in this world. But modern medicine being the #1 cause of death in the United States and most Western countries has been my personal biggest inspiration to become involved, particularly with hemp seed as a food. I believe that hemp has a potential to allow us to create a green, bright future for our local communities all over the world. Hemp is essential for health. Did you know that our brains contain more essential fatty acids, omega-3 and omega-6, than anything else? This is a picture of my brain made from hemp seeds. This has inspired us to produce hemp seeds, hemp oil, and hemp protein products in Australia. In fact, the search terms by Google for hemp more recently are increasing. Also, the growth of hemp seeds in tons is now increasing significantly also. We have in Europe, for example, a few years ago, over 10,000 tons of hemp seeds being produced for oil, other foods, and even animal feed. This is what a modern factory hemp seed storage looks like today. Hemp has many uses, from the roots to the fiber, to the inside of the stalk, to the flowers, to the seeds, and to the leaves. There are now over 100,000 hectares of hemp being grown throughout the world. This is a hemp fiber processing line by Hemp Flax that I visited recently in the Netherlands. Hemp is also used for making building. This is a hemp building production line that makes panels for building. There are many different types of hemp buildings around the world. This picture on the left side is a 9-story hemp building. Many people think of hemp buildings as alternative buildings. They can look like any other building. Hemp, when used in building, stores carbon at 1.9 kilos of CO2 per kilogram of material used. These are more examples of how the prefabricated hemp is being used. It is my dream to create eco-villages of hemp, and this is a concept that I found in the Netherlands, where people grow their own organic foods, build their hemp buildings, use hemp as a food, use hemp as a medicine, use hemp for textiles and paper and all the other uses that we see. Another use that we saw earlier was that hemp stalks are being used for production of charcoal, both in Japan and China. And of course, it's not just the hemp seeds. These hemp fibers are now being used in many tens of thousands of tons, with the largest use for them in the world, actually in the automotive and composite world. Here is an example car made from hemp biocomposites. It's an electric car also. While we're talking about car, let me show you a comparison of hemp seeds and your car. When we drive in Australia, we drive an approximately 270 kilometers per week, which releases approximately 50 kilograms of CO2 into the atmosphere, contributing to global warming. When we use 1 large kilo of hemp seeds and 1 large bottle of hemp oil, we reduce the carbon in the air by the hemp that is grown by 70 kilos. So by eating more hemp seeds and hemp oil, we can prevent and balance out the problems that we are causing on this planet. On the right is a car part made again by hemp flax for cars like Mercedes and BMW from this wonderful plant. Hemp plastics is another one of my passions, to see an alternative to the plastics being used today. We can blend hemp with regular plastics. We can blend hemp with other plant-based, 100% biodegradable and now 3D printable plastics. Here are some examples. Excuse me. I can't go back, but there are some examples outside that you can see of 3D printable hemp plastic materials. I made this Kyoto Hemp Forum logo for this very event that you can see and touch outside. It's 100% biodegradable. Other products made from hemp plastics include the didgeridoo that you heard me play earlier today. This is also made from 100% hemp and charcoal. There is no glues, there are no resins, and there are no binders in this material that we make in my town in Australia. You can also make batteries from hemp. Clothing is made from hemp, as we know. Paper can be made from hemp. There are many uses for this wonderful plant. Most recently, there has been other forms of hemp being shown in the news. The Japan Times presented just last week about a man with cancer wanting to use medical cannabis or high CBD oil for helping with his problems. This has not currently been scientifically proven within Japan, but we are working on that. There is much news within the world about high CBD hemp oil being used for many different disorders. The understanding of medical cannabis and its effects are being learnt very quickly right now. Epilepsy is one particular use that people know a lot about in regards to CBD and hemp oil. Arthritis is another particular use. Cannabidiol search terms in Google in the very recent years as people are starting to experience the benefits and the use of hemp CBD oil are growing. Dementia, PTSD, diabetes, ulcerative colitis, and IBS are uses that we have directly seen and have seen studies of where high CBD, low THC products can assist. In fact, there are many different uses of the different cannabinoids within cannabis hemp. As you can see, CBD is the largest cannabinoid within industrial hemp. The amount of research and publications is starting to increase significantly again. In fact, the draft genome and transcript of cannabis sativa is now being understood, and this is allowing the world to start studying cannabis as a medicine once again. And when we talk about cannabis as a medicine, we are not necessarily talking about getting high. All of this CBD raw material from Europe contains no THC for psychoactive purposes. This is me just a few days ago in Europe. This is also a recent visit to a processing facility to make this oil, and a field which is just a few weeks old, also in Europe. There are many types of harvesting technologies that are being developed. This is the harvesting of different parts of the hemp plant which are being used for multiple uses. Having many uses from one crop makes it extremely important for farmers to get a good return, bringing back the new agronomic age. These are fields that I inspected recently to check the quality of them. We use these fields to produce products for Elixinol. Just a few days ago, I was in a hemp field having a look at hemp tea, which is made from the leaves. Hemp tea is something that is only legal currently in Europe when it doesn't contain any psychoactive properties. It is being sold in the department stores and enjoyed as a caffeine-free tea alternative. It is my belief that the future of hemp can be and will be sustainable. We can run ethical businesses when we work together honestly and we talk to each other. It is our goal here from the industry to bring and create local industries where we work together. We would like to see the lessons that we have learned in Australia, the United States, and throughout Europe to be shared in Japan, whose culture of hemp is very strong. We look forward to working with you. Now I will introduce my colleagues from Canada, Thailand, the USA, Netherlands, and Ukraine to all present to you different aspects of this wonderful crop. Arigato gozaimasu.
ポール・ベンハイムさん、ありがとうございました。ヘンプのさまざまな